Welcome for mathematics lesson. We're going to discuss rates and percentages. Number 17, Fadhili and Kipara contributed a total capital of 800 Kenya shillings to start a joint business. Fadhili contributed 31.25% of the capital. A profit of 72,000 Kenya shillings was realized by the end of the year. Part of this profit was paid as allowances as follows. First, Fadhili received basic management allowance of 7,000 Kenya shillings plus 7.5% of the profit and a partnership allowance equivalent to 3.2% of his capital. Then we have Kipara received a partnership allowance equivalent to 2.4% of his capital. Part A, calculate the total allowances paid to Fadhili. So Fadhili is going to receive, there is 7%, 7,000, Kenya shillings. So the totals for Fadhili, we have 7,000. Then we have 7.5% of the profit. 7.5 is 7.5% over 100 of the profit, which is 72,000. Again, plus a partnership allowance equivalent to 3.2 of his capital. So 3.2 of his capital means 3.2% of his capital. So his own capital is equivalent to 31.25%. So and a quarter can be 0.25% of the contribution, which was initially 800,000. So in the 800,000 initial capital to begin the joint business, Fadhili contributed 31.25% of the capital. In this contribution, now we are going to give him an allowance of 3.2% of this contribution. So we're going to have 7,000 plus 7.5% of 72,000 is going to be 5,400. Then plus, on this side I will begin with first of all getting 31.25% of 800,000. This is going to be 250,000. Therefore 3.2% of 250,000. This is what he contributed. The 31.25% is now equivalent to this. Now 3.2% of this will be given to him as a partnership allowance. So now we can get the exact figure here by multiplying by 3.2%. This is going to be 8,000. So this is 8,000. So it's 7,000 plus 5,400 plus 8,000. This gentleman is going to get allowances equivalent to Kenya shillings when we add 5,400 and 7,000, 20,400 Kenya shillings. So that is the total allowances which were paid to Fadhili. The next is determine the fraction of the profit that was paid as allowances. So we should also get the allowances to Kipara. So Kipara is going to receive 2.4% of his capital, 2.4%, which means over 100 of his capital. So his capital is going to be, when we take the total capital and we subtract 250, the capital by Fadhili, we get 550,000 Kenya shillings. So 2.4% of this is going to be 13,200 200 Kenya shillings. So Kipara got 13,200 Kenya shillings, and Fadhili had been paid allowances equivalent to 20,400. Therefore, total allowances will be equal to 20,400 plus 13,200. This is going to be 33,600 Kenya shillings. So these are the total allowances paid, the total allowances paid to this gentleman. Now we want to express it. Determine the fraction of the profit that was paid as allowances. So the fraction, now as a fraction, it's going to be 33,600 of 720,000. 72,000, that is. So when we divide this and we give it as a fraction, it's going to be 7 out of 15. So 7 out of 15 of the total profits is what went to allowances by this gentleman. And finally, we're going to talk about the remaining part of the profit, which is now going to be 8 out of 15, was shared between Fadhili and Kipara in the ratio of the capital they had each contributed. Express the total amount Fadhili received as a percentage of the profit. Therefore, the remaining profit, which is going to be 8 out of 15 of 72,000, we can check now what it is. This is going to be 38,400. This is the remaining profits. Now, the way they are going to be shared is in the ratio of their capital, And we said in their capital, Fadhili had contributed 250,000. Then we have Kipara, who is contributing 550. Therefore, we are concerned with what Fadhili received. So the ratios of their contributions are going to be Fadhili is to Kipara is going to be Fadhili 250,000 to 550,000. Therefore, this is going to simplify to the tens of thousands would disappear. Then we'll have by 5, 5, and by 5, 11. 5 is to 11. Therefore, 5 out of total proportions, which are 16 now, of the remaining profit, which is 38,400, will go to Fadhili, because the proportions for Fadhili are 5 and total proportions are 16. And now the remaining profit being shared is 38,400. Therefore, we're going to have 5 out of 16 of this amount. This is going to be 12,000. So this gentleman is going to receive 12,000. Now, if he further receives 12,000 and he had received from part A 20,400, we can check now total payments. Total amount which is received by the gentleman called Fadhili. This is going to be the 12,000 is further receiving, and the 20,400 he had gotten. So when we add 2,400, we're going to have 32,400. So at the end of the business year, this gentleman is going to receive 32,400. Now we shall express this one as a percentage of the profit. Therefore, we'll have to say, as a percentage of the profit, Fadhili is going to receive 32,400 out of 72,000. That is as a fraction. When we multiply by 100, we make it a percentage. Therefore, this multiplied by 100 out of 72,000, we're going to have exactly 45%. So this guy will receive 45% of the profit. Thank you for following. Subscribe and share.